Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Burgers and Fries podcast, your Bob's Burgers companion podcast. With you again is Bryan and Ryan, in the same building, in the same room, sitting right next to each other on the couch in our podcast office.
Feels weird.
It feels weird, yeah, it's very weird because the weather, and we're supposed to get more snow tonight, so if we were recording tomorrow or later tonight, you probably wouldn't be here. So we're going to try and hustle up, get you out of here at a decent time so you don't get snowed in.
It's not like the snow, last week it was the same way. The snow held off, and yes, last week the snow was a little slippery, but it wasn't terrible. It's not like it's not like I couldn't make it home, and then this week it doesn't look like it's going to be...
It won't be that bad, it'll just be all day tomorrow. Will be pretty crappy.
Yeah. 2 to 5 inches depends on how quickly it comes down.
That's going to be... Well, it's supposed to snow from 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow or something like that. So that's all day.
Hooray!
Yeah, I know. More snow, which we are running out of places to put the snow.
It's not just the snow. Snow would be one thing, but it's also we're just also getting lots of wind too. So you shovel. At least for me, I shovel, and then it's pointless because I live out in this cul-de-sac that has a great gust of wind every 2 minutes. Yeah. So I'll finish shoveling, and then I'll go back to the beginning of the driveway, and it's all full again because of all the drifted snow.
Sure.
It's like, this is the worst. This is the absolute worst.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hairy out here for all the amount of snow. And then what's worse is that it melts, and then we get ice, and then it snows on top of that, and then everything's just a shit show outside. Yeah. It gets really slippery. So, anyway, we're gonna do season 5, episode 5. Best burger.
Not by choice. We are going in order.
We are going in order.
Next one in order.
This is the next one.
That's right. Say that. I think we're gonna do.
We'll do this one. Yeah.
We'll do best burger today, and tomorrow we won't. This is continuing season 5. It's episode 5, the 72nd overall episode. This one is written by Mike Benner, directed by Don McKinnon. Aired on November 30th. 2014. So this was the week after the last week's Thanksgiving episode.
That's generally how it works.
It is.
And they always air the week after. Well, not always. Most of the time they air the week after. It
depends what else is going on. Bob enters a burger tasting contest, only to discover that his distinguishing ingredient is missing. To help out their father, the kids go on a mission to find the ever-so-important black garlic. So, I have not yet... We talked about this last week. I have not yet been able to find black garlic in Madison. Supposedly, one of the 3 Willys co-ops has it, but I don't know which one, and I don't want to call around. It's not that important.
Sure, to waste your time calling, you just want to stumble upon it.
Kind of.
Okay.
I do want to make the burger, the Bet It All on Black Garlic Burger, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go get it until it becomes an absolute need.
Sure.
We don't have. There was an article written a little...
You're going to pay $20 for a bulb of...
Excuse me, it was only $8.
That's true.
Remember, they had to pay double, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But no, it's not quite a need yet, but there was an article written a few years ago for, I think, one of the local Madison papers, and they just talked about how black garlic was the new thing, and this would have been about a year even before maybe this episode came out, and how a bunch of stores have it. And I'm like, well, okay, but they don't now, so whatever. But yeah, this has the return of Thomas Lennon as Chuck. We have...
It's always great when Chuck comes back. I really enjoy that.
We have Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail Nanjiani, yes.
Who plays Skip Marooch.
Mm-hmm.
Or Skip Marooch.
Skip Marooch. Well, I like that. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yes. Skip.
Yeah.
That was a good joke.
Anyway, we'll get to that. Brian's already watched the episode, so he's prepared. And then we have Bill Hader back as Mickey, but this is sadly the last appearance of Mickey so far in the entire run of the show.
Sad. Wow, is it really?
It is, yeah.
Wow, that's really devastating.
Yep, it is. It is the end of the road, as they say.
That's really sad.
But then we have Andy Daly. I think this is his first appearance on the show. And he plays Ray.
Andy Daly's in some really good stuff.
Yeah, I think this is his first appearance on the show. And then, of course, we have the standard cast of crew. Kindler, what's his name? I can't think of his first name. Andy Kindler.
Yes.
And Jay Johnston and
yes.
David Herman, and they make all the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
They're back on that.
Calm down. You're really excited about this.
I am. And then obviously Ron Lynch is back as Ron because he's getting a pedicab ride. But yeah, I think we're gonna go right into it. We don't even need to really ask if when the last time Brian has seen this episode. He saw it right before we watched this, but we're still gonna pause so you can watch the episode.
That's right.
And then we'll come back and discuss best burger to see if it really is the best burger.
And let's get a few words with Bob the Slob Belcher. Hi.
That's not my nickname.
Well, it is now. Everyone heard it. Bob and I have a bit of a history, folks. I graciously allowed him onto my morning talk show, and in turn, he got me fired.
I didn't get you fired. Linda did.
Hi, Chuck.
So what stupid burger are you making, Bob?
Okay, well, it's not stupid. It's smart. I call it the Bet It All on Black Garlic Burger. It's made
Stupid
with...
name.
What?
Stupid name.
Oh, my God. It's made with black garlic. It's a fermented garlic. It comes from Korea.
Don't blame Korea for your stupid burger, Bob. Not fair to them or burgers.
I'm not blaming
The
them.
stupid black garlic burger. Put it up on the screen.
Oh, my God.
Up, we made it up. Look, we're on the screen.
And that was the best burger episode. Do you feel that Bob should have won?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't had either burger.
That's the correct answer.
No, I didn't.
How would you know?
I haven't made the Bet It All on Black Garlic Burger yet, like we just talked about. I did not make. I don't have the recipe for his burger for Skip's burger, so I can't even make that one without trying.
But
to
the
guess.
secret ingredient is something. I can't remember what the secret ingredient was.
Yeah, but it's from his grandma.
It's from his grandma. Yep.
Who hates Mondays.
And also hates Mondays.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, had I had one or both of the burgers, I maybe would know. Definitely, Jimmy Pesto's should not have
Jimmy
won.
Pesto had the worst one. He finished with 10 minutes to spare, and then stuck it all under a heat lamp, which I think maybe we talked about this before, is that Jimmy Pesto's is like your stereotypical, reheats everything from the freezer kind of restaurant. Right, where nothing's really made fresh. Everything sits under heat lamp for too long, and it's just, you're microwaved or you throw it in an oven, fresh out of the freezer, out of all of your big box kind of food chains, restaurants, without naming names. I think we all know, who we're talking about. I mean,
but I feel like...
Or should we name names?
We can name names.
Should we throw, like, Applebee's? There, I said it.
We don't have sponsorships with any restaurants.
That's very true. But, yeah, but say goodbye to Applebee's sponsorship now. We just trashed them. Said that they have reheated garbage in their restaurants.
If we get banned from Applebee's, we can join Red Letter Media, and they're banning, because all they do is talk about how shitty Applebee's food is, too, and they do the ticket reviews.
Nice. Yeah, it's not great.
I mean, I think it's supposed to mimic I feel like the restaurant as a whole, for Jimmy Pesto's restaurant, I feel like in a whole it's supposed to just mimic family-style Italian restaurants. But I think in true Jimmy Pesto fashion, as you said, I think he's trying to cut as many corners as he can.
Sure.
To do it. And perhaps maybe one day we'll get a great backstory.
See, but Jimmy
Pesto.
Pesto's reminds me of those like just big food chains where it's like, giant margaritas and there's only with mozzarella sticks and pizza.
There is only one Jimmy Pesto's though.
True, right. But it just reminds. Jeez, that was really carbonated Coke. No, it just reminds me of those type of chains. So I just don't. And this has been proven in the show time and time again that Bob's food just always tastes better than Jimmy's. People just know what they're getting at Jimmy Pesto's, and so they go there because it's safe. Maybe.
Well, I mean, Italian food is safe. You cannot really mess up Italian food. You really can't.
I mean, you can. You just, have to work hard at it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is he doesn't have to work very hard, and he can just kind of slide on by. But it is comfort food. It's not, it's easy. Sit down. It's a bigger place than Bob's. So you got competing restaurants. You look inside Bob's Burgers, and you see that there's four or five booths. And then there's 4 or 5 stools. You can't fit very many people in there.
No, it's a tiny little shop.
So it looks like it's kind of a quick grab-and-go establishment, whereas you look at Jimmy Pesto's Italian restaurant, like,
they want to keep you here. They have all these deals. The game is on, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, all that stuff. So it was really great to see Jimmy Pesto kind of not get his comeuppance, but just him to lose something, because it doesn't happen too often, right? He always seems to be one-upping Bob with business on the daily. And so he had his oregano. Yeah, just seemed like it was a burger with oregano.
He said it was a burger with lots of oregano.
Lots of oregano.
And that was literally it. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of bouncing a little bit into the beginning here. Basically, as we just said, there is a contest going on.
For Best Burger at the first annual... Oh, no, at the Food Fest. It's the first annual burger contest. But they're at the Wharf It Down, Food Festival, which...
That's what he called it.
Is a great name.
Chuck called it, yeah.
No, that's the name of the...
Yeah, he said he named it that.
He named it that?
That's what he said in the episode.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Because there's signs for it everywhere. Did he name the food festival?
He said... Oh, maybe not.
Aha.
Oh, yeah, no, this was his... This was his burger festival.
The burger contest was, yes. Yeah, he didn't name the Wharf It Down, which, man, that is such a great name. The writers in the show are really, really awesome. Wharf It Down Food Festival. So, it's just a big food festival. It's kind of like, Taste of Madison for us. Where you get to go down, you get to taste everybody's, wares, and you get to run around. Where did they hold it? Did they hold it at the Cap Square? I forget what it's downtown. It's downtown,
Madison?
right? Off of State Street, yeah.
I thought the Taste of Madison. I thought that was down by the.
Or is it all in Turnville Park?
It was Olin Park.
All in Turnville Park could be. Yeah, see, I don't know where it is. I'm just saying, like
Or
that would be the equivalent. Like any other
park.
city's, food festival. You go down and there's all these crazy foods being peddled, and you get to go try them from different restaurants around the city. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful time. Good time for foodies. Good time for being social and amusement as well. So, it basically starts right off. Burger contest.
Well, yeah,
Bet it all on black garlic burger. They don't have the garlic.
you've got the Bet it all on black garlic. You've got the oregano burger.
And Skip's burger.
Which I think is just a pomegranate. What do you say? Pomegranate and green chili chutney burger. And the grandma's special spice blend. She says put spice in everything. She also said I hate Mondays, but she never got credit for that.
No, Garfield got credit for that one.
Yeah. I thought that was funny where Chuck, is trying to make small talk, and he goes, "Oh, I'll have to meet her," and she goes, and then Skip goes, "It's too late."
It's too late. That was a very sad moment. Very sad moment indeed. So they come to kind of a point here where Linda needs to go into the cooler to get the black garlic to finish the burger, only to find out that they didn't bring it.
Yeah. And here comes one of my big gripes with this episode. What are they trying to prove with Gene's character change here? He's never once in the show shown to be unreliable in something like that. The only thing we ever saw really was the OT where he would drop a flower thing, but he didn't forget it. Something just happened. They kind of changed his character around in this whole episode to be forgetful, to have this short attention span, kind of like they were trying to say that he had attention deficit disorder.
That's what I always thought.
But it was a very poor representation of what ADD can be.
Right.
And for somebody who has it, both of us who have been clinically diagnosed with it,
Hooray!
I felt that it didn't do a good job. And so this kind of begins this whole character change for Gene in just this one episode, because it does not happen again.
Not that I noticed. Yeah.
Not,
because I start to, because I did the same thing. I'm like, is Gene really that forgetful?
It's not even forgetful. It's that he's
unreliable.
He's unreliable, but they also kind of characterize him as being a little dumber in this episode, because he, with a straight face, and maybe this was intended, maybe it wasn't. Right away, when they're calling at when he calls at the restaurant to get the black, because he broke the black garlic all over his shirt because he was looking for his back scratcher. He said, Bob says, put the phone on Tina, and he goes, well, Tina's kind of big. I think it's easier to put the phone on Tina. And then he just does put it on Tina. And while that's kind of a funny sight gag, where is this character art? Where is this coming from? What is this whole unreliable, weird Gene thing? That sounds more like a Louise line, and she would still follow through with it and give Tina the phone. But this is kind of like, oh, it'd be funny to put it on him. Okay, here it's on top of Tina.
Right.
So I don't know where this is coming from, and this kind of plagues this episode for me, because it is just a series of genes, because they said he's a verb.
Yeah, he's a
verb.
A verb.
He's a bad verb.
Right. He's gening it up, is what they would say.
And I feel like this came out of nowhere, and it bothered me. I don't know if you felt kind of the same way overall, but just this unreliable Gene. The whole reason that this happens is because first they change Gene's character, and then they blame the fact that Bob forgot that Bob really didn't want to do this contest, and he wanted a way to blame somebody on it, so he assigned Gene to do this thing. Like, where is this all coming from? We've been through 71 other episodes where this has not come up once.
Right.
And here it is. We're kind of laying it out. Gene's forgetful. He thinks more about things that he enjoys more than other things, and that's never been the case before. And it never will be the case again. Spoiler alert, we don't have another episode like this.
Yeah, where Gene's very forgetful.
Yeah.
And the fate of the family falls on Gene.
He can be comic relief, that is fine, but do not sacrifice the fact that this guy, this character that we've come to respect, and this kid who's still growing up and still learning who he is, you've changed who he is for one episode about a burger contest. Because let's get down to it. The whole episode revolves around the fact that it is Gene that forgot the black garlic. And then you break it down even further from that. It's because Bob told Gene to pack it, and Bob knows in the back of his head that Gene would be unreliable and he could blame somebody else for his mistakes and not winning or just kind of giving up.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a great episode to me, at least story-wise, especially character development.
Well, now that you've just butchered the entire premise of this story.
Well, it's, again, and like I said, I saw this episode last week when I was just kind of had it on random and I was doing housework, and I actually sat and watched it because I was like, oh yeah, we're going to be doing this one next week.
Sure.
So I did sit and watch it, and as I was just watching it without taking notes, I'm sitting here, man, this is not what I remember this episode being. And then I'm glad I watched it again today, and I could kind of confirmation bias, for lack of a better way to say it, I was able to kind of, reconfirm to myself, yeah, this isn't the Gene that we know.
No.
And
that's true. I feel it was, I don't want to say character assassination.
No.
But it's a different trait that we see of Gene, and we don't see it again, to your point. That is true, but overall, it still worked in the episode if you just take it and look at it as, you start the episode one way and then you end it, the exact same way as you start it, right? What's that called? Zero continuity.
Okay, Bob. You got a fantastic and a new, but he got an amazing and a really weird moan. And he liked both your mouth feels. I'd say it's a tight race.
And now the judges will deliberate. Cue deliberating music, please.
You know what? I did my best. I held my own with Skip, and no matter what happens, Lynn, I feel pretty good.
And our winner is Skip Marouche!
Oh my God, I feel bad.
Ah, damn it! Piece of garbage!
How can we lose? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
It's shaped like a burger. I get it. I'm so excited.
Skip Marouche, handsomest chef. What about me? Great MC. Gonna go have a plate of shrimp, a 20-ounce beer, and a massage from my friend Hank the Masseuse.
Oh my God.
Because that's where, it's basically the sitcom trope where everything's back to normal at the end of the episode.
Yeah. So
but everything wasn't, I guess everything kind of was back to normal, but,
yeah, it was fine.
I don't enjoy, I don't know, I don't think that, and that's fine. If that's the kind of the episode that they want to do, great. But in the grand scheme of what I enjoy about the show, that kind of struck a chord with me. So why don't we, instead of me continuing to butcher Gene,
sure,
let's kind of just briefly go.
We can kind of go,
because we're gonna talk about the things that Gene does. Maybe we should just start there. And
Okay.
I can get it out of my system, and then I can be good. So first off, they're looking for the black garlic, as you said, and it's
not in the cooler.
It's not in the cooler. We packed it. I told Gene to get it, and Gene wasn't paying attention when Bob was telling him to put it in the cooler. He was, I forget what he was doing.
He was in the cooler and he couldn't find it. What color is black? He had all these excuses and you're just kind of doing random things.
Yeah. So then Bob gets upset, tells the kids that they need to go back to the restaurant to grab the black garlic burger, and they aren't going to do it, but they negotiate a day off of work to do it.
Yeah, they get one whole day off if they can help him out.
If they can bring the black garlic burger back before the end of the contest.
Right. You can have one day off.
So they go back to the restaurant to get it. They find it in a very weird place. It's like the edge of the prep table, but it's like over a sink, I think. Maybe it's over the sink, whatever. So they're going to grab it, and then the first issue, really with Gene, that I have is he's about to grab the black garlic burger and then sees his back scratcher that he's been looking for.
His back scratcher spatula.
Yes.
So this is the spatula in the kitchen that he uses to scratch his back.
And so, completely ignoring the fact that he had just said, "Oh, here's the black garlic. I'm going to grab it." Within a literal split second, he sees the back scratcher, and he's completely off track. That's not how ADHD works or ADD works. You would still see that black garlic and grab it, but then you would maybe have it in your hand and then grab the back scratcher and then set the garlic down somewhere else.
Right, and then forget about the garlic or forget that you were supposed to go back because you're still in tune to this new back scratcher thing that you found because it's a new stimulant, basically.
Yeah. So, but he scrunches it all over his shirt. It gets all over, stained on his shirt, and then he uses his spatula and is like, "Oh, this works as a front scratcher too." Which, that's a Gene thing. Okay, that's funny. But how we got to that point was not a Gene thing. So then they get back to after the, I guess it's after the commercial break, they call Bob on the cell phone and they go, Gene's like, "What part of I
was reaching for my back scratcher spatula and I smushed the black garlic. Do you not understand?"
Yeah.
Was this whole thing?
Yeah. So he, so basically it's, he saw it and then he saw the spatula. So then this is where that put Tina on the phone. Will it be easier if I put the phone on Tina? Happens. They tell them to go down to this fig jam, which is would be like it looks like it's a completely...
The very hoity-toity.
Like very organic, whole foods.
Yeah.
But
it's a very small, yeah.
It's a specialty.
Very gourmet, there you go, specialty food stuff store.
It's
Absolutely.
the only place in town that has black garlic. The only place. Which...
Coincidentally, the kids are banned from.
They are banned from it because they...
Which I really like how that happened. I really love that whole sequence.
So they went to buy, what was it, a chocolate bar?
A chocolate bar with red pepper flakes and bacon in it. No, jalapeno peppers.
No,
you're
right. Bacon and red pepper.
Yeah, okay, bacon and red pepper.
So like what you put in pizza, on top of pizza. And they were, it was $13. And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't want the whole box. We just want one."
We just want one. And then Louise is like, "This should cover it." And it's like 85 cents.
Yeah. And so they get into a fight with him because he's getting kicked out of the store. Although no, he's not getting kicked out. The owner was strongly suggesting that you leave this place of business and go find take your business elsewhere. But they get banned from the store because they make some weird butt jokes. Like, where'd you get where'd you import this chocolate from anyway? Your butt, and where did you? And then Tina's like, "Where'd you get those sea salt caramel crisps from? Your butt?"
Yeah.
"Oh, Belgium." Because Tina, of course, she can't follow through with the jokes, which
no,
is fine.
She
That's
can't.
a Tina
Yeah.
thing. I'm perfectly okay with that. But then they get banned for making that weird butt joke, so they can't go back in. They end up going back in anyway, grabbing the black garlic, and the guy's like, "No, you're banned," and they're to make a deal.
Yeah, like,
so
look,
Louise is like, "We'll pay double,
right,
and then we'll get out of here, and you won't see us for a while. We just need this. It's an emergency. So
right.
$16 for this one whole clove. I mean, it is a whole clove of black garlic.
Bulb.
You're right. The whole bulb. And it's a big bulb. That's some pretty mutant garlic.
Yeah.
So they don't have the money. Gene has the money, and so they're waiting for Gene to come back in. And this was another part of Gene being just irresponsible and dumb, and he should know better. He's 11.
Right.
This is something Eric Cartman did, and he was 9, and that's a little different because Cartman's also spoiled.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, hey,
some cool skateboard kid." Right,
yeah.
asked if I had $1, and I gave him the entire 20, and now he's going to skate back here with the change.
Yeah, so they don't have any money, and now they can't get the black garlic, so they end up stealing it and getting a ride back to the festival with Mickey and Ron, who's there spending his. This is how he splurges for the week, because he's going to take a pedicab.
Yeah, which is really funny. That's really good, and Mickey is the pedicab driver.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey's the pedicab driver.
Mickey Tank Bank.
But yeah, he, what did Ron say? Was he going to the library?
Yep, he's going to the library, and this is his splurge for the week, was taking a pedicab. Hey, a weekly splurge? I think it's a great idea.
For a pedicab, though, that's pretty
well, for a pedicab, if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but like having a weekly splurge set aside like $50. And once a week you go and just do something you want, $20 or whatever the hell it is.
I like that Mickey is so tight with the Belcher family that Ron spent this money to get a pedicab ride, and the kids just hop on.
And Mickey's we're stealing this black garlic. We need to get down to the food festival.
Like, you're stealing it. That's a different story.
Yeah, and then he just takes off.
But then the other pedicab driver, the one who's, I guess, in a beef right now, a turf war with Mickey, because Mickey's never been in a turf war. He loves it.
Yeah, it's my first turf war. He's very excited.
Ray, who's the owner, gets in the back and is like, "I'll give you $20 to follow that guy." He's like, "Oh, the spaghetti leg man." You know,
yeah. Because the other pedicab driver was just huge with these giant legs.
Yeah.
Because he cycles all day long.
So this is kind of on this pedicab ride. This is where the kids realize, and they tell Gene, "Hey, you're a verb in this family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's, you know, we call it gening out." And, you know, of course, Gene's like, "I thought that meant taking your pants off after a good meal."
Mm-hmm.
No. And so Ron was like, "I was gening out at work the other day." And Mickey's like, "I'm gening out right now." Like, apparently this is something that that everybody's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time, of course, we've ever heard of it, is this episode. But everybody knows it. He's a burb. And he kind of comes to realize that maybe I don't know. He kind of has a realization that he wants to not be known as the bad verb anymore.
Sure.
On the pedicab ride, so he delivers the black garlic through the food festival, and he sees things that he, of course, would normally get distracted for. Is how it's meant to play off. Like he would completely forget what he's doing.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah. So things like he would completely forget what he was doing and go do these food things. Another problem I have with this then, another Gene issue, and again, maybe it's because he's 11, whatever this character that we have in this episode is, but one of the things is, what was it? There was a tray of tacos, 10 tacos for $1.
I wrote all these down.
Sure. So go in order, because I just, not that it's relevant to my point, but I want to hear the things that he had to ignore.
First of all, before I get to that, the things that he had to ignore, no one with or without ADD or gening it up could possibly ignore those. So Gene summoned superhero strength, I feel, because these are fantastic things that you should have stopped for. At least one.
Well, I've got a counterpoint to that.
But
so
yeah, go ahead.
You continue.
All right. So Gene gets dropped off and runs off with the black art. Well, he fools his sisters.
Yeah.
Like, look at that cloud thing up there, and then he grabs it and runs away, and like, oh, we've just been gened.
Which I don't understand that either. But,
Just,
but then Ron's like,
it's a
"Oh
catch-all.
yeah, I do see that."
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-all term for this episode. Yeah. And so he grabs the black garlic and takes off running, and he has to get to the burger contest. And our priest is like, "Ooh, muffins! No, wait!" And then he keeps running. And then there's free cupcake flavored ice cream served on a waffle.
Okay, yeah,
sounds fantastic. Pizza tacos, 10 for $1.
Yeah, I remember that one.
A robot cake, which was a giant cake
that looked like a robot.
Looked like a robot, but the guy that's carving it, the guy that's carving the shape was using a chainsaw. That's how much cake there was.
Or that's just how dense that cake was.
Yes,
Jeez.
Also true. And then the last one was hot fudge car wash. Was the last one.
All right. So here's my counterpoint to you saying that no reasonable person would
Dude, 10 pizza tacos for $1?
Yeah, he could go drop off the black garlic and then go back to
and then run back, right?
That's what I'm saying, is that's not something, even if you saw those and you knew that you had to get that done, he wasn't that far away from the thing.
True, but he didn't know how much time he had left. I mean, this all happens, apparently in 20 minutes or less.
Yeah, well, the whole contest is...
It's 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes to prep and cook your burger, which is more than
one
enough
thing
time.
I should have done, and I didn't. I would have loved to have actually kept real time while watching the episode.
Oh, okay.
To see, with commercials, because I don't have commercials, so I don't know if they timed it out with commercials to actually be a correct timer.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just would have been a fun little Easter egg. It doesn't make or break anything for me, but it's just the fact that it was, here we got 20 minutes, here's a 30-minute show, don't count the opening, don't count the end credits when that's happening, or when the restaurant skips at the restaurant, because that wasn't part of the timer. But I wonder if it was actually 20 minutes.
Who knows?
But yeah, so he delivers the black garlic, but then what's stopping them from just going back and getting those 10 tacos for $1, or the robot cake that was still being cut?
Nothing's stopping him from going back and doing that, but it's that all sounded really good.
They go back and do the hot fudge car wash anyway, because they take their day off to go do it.
Yeah,
so
get Mama to go bucket.
These things were all there, and they fabricated, they made up this whole, I don't have enough self-control to go deliver black garlic because of all these food distractions.
Sure.
And it's just that, drop it off and then go back and get yourself distracted. That's how I would have done it, and definitely being somebody with...
That's how a normal person would have done it. So they're kind of giving Gene just this big, a fault as a human being, as a person. He's just so forgetful and distractible.
But yeah, so he delivers the black garlic, the Belches get second place. Everybody apologizes, because during this whole thing, Bob and Linda have their realization that, I don't want to do this, because I don't want to... Bob's pretty much anti I mean, he's not very competitive when it comes to like actual competition. Because he doesn't want to do it. He's trying to find a way to. If he doesn't win, he wants to have a reason why he didn't win.
Right. Something to blame it on where it wouldn't be his fault if he tried.
And so that's kind of what. That's kind of what Linda
insinuates.
Yeah,
she kind of told him you gave Gene, the least or the least responsible of all of our kids, the most important ingredient job.
Yeah, okay, to my counterpoint to that, did he really give it to him, though, or was he just the closest kid as they were packing up things?
That's kind of what I thought. Because Gene wasn't anywhere on the screen. He's like, hey, Gene, go get the black garlic.
Yeah.
You see Tina and Louise. You don't see Gene anywhere.
So, yeah, but wasn't he closest to it?
Could have been.
And that's kind of what I'm wondering, because I know that they say, I know that Linda says, that to try to, I guess it's to try to goad him into thinking, yeah, I can do this.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Which is fine. I mean, obviously he got second place. He wasn't going to get last. There was no way in a 3-person contest with Pesto, we already know his burger sucked because he tried to do it in season 1 during the episode where he was the restaurant. He was going to turn the restaurant into a casino, into a gift shop. He makes that burger. He's like, this is terrible.
Yes.
So we know that he can't make a good burger.
Right.
So I'm curious as to if he was in there. Regardless, the whole episode's premises rely around Gene being a not reliable child. Mm-hmm. And yes, he can't.
Yeah, not a bad child, just
And yes, we know he's not super reliable just with like flower babies, but he took very good care of that toilet.
He sure did.
So we know that he can do it. Mm-hmm. But they just kind of gave him this ADHD. Or this ADD that we will never see again. Yes, he's 11 years old, and there are going to be things that distract him. That happens to every 11-year-old. But for this one episode, he just had the worst case of lack of awareness, lack of awareness of people around him. Not necessarily awareness of himself, because he didn't have any self-awareness either. But just being aware of people, around.
All right, kids, you're gonna have to run from here.
You guys stay here and block. I'll cut through the crowd like a fart through butter.
Let me take the garlic. I need this. This is my redemption song. Bob Marley, give me strength.
This is a food festival, Gene. It's a distraction minefield for you.
Yeah, Gene, stay here and help me block Ray. It'll be a block party.
Okay. Hey, look, that cloud looks like a dinosaur on a thing.
Where?
Huh? I can't believe it! Gene made us Gene out!
Oh, yeah, I see it.
A what the heck moment.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was bizarre. I noticed it too. I was like, are they trying to give him ADD, or are they just trying to say that he's just, flighty and irresponsible? It doesn't really matter. What matters is just your point, is that this is just this is like Gene's fault, which he always kind of had, but amplified by 1,000. Right? But anyway, that's kind of your thought process on the whole thing. I still thought it was funny how he was running through the Wharf It Down food festival and had all these distractions coming at him, and each one more ridiculous than the next. Can we talk about those for a second?
More than just mentioning them?
Yeah, more than just mentioning them. Because, first of all, muffins, no big deal. I mean, yeah, muffins are great. But free, first of all, it's free cupcake, flavored ice cream served on a waffle. That sounds fantastic. Mm-hmm. It sounds absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, pizza tacos, 10 for $1, which I'm intrigued by, because is it now just... Is the taco shell a pizza? And then is there taco filling? Or is it like taco pizza in the form of a taco?
I feel like... Well, they showed real tacos. So my guess is it's like...
A real taco with pizza flavorings.
No, I think it would be... So maybe it's like a thicker taco crust, like a chalupa, and it's actually like pizza dough, like kind of like pizza dough instead.
Okay.
And then it's like... I guess it could be taco... pizza. Why couldn't it just be like a taco pizza?
Yeah, but they were shaped like tacos.
I know, so couldn't it be a taco pizza taco?
It could be. I don't know.
Or it could have been, because otherwise, what else would you stuff in a taco pizza unless it's just like ground beefs? And because if you want to make it like a taco, then I think taco pizza taco would probably be your best bet.
Probably a good way to do it.
Or you could just kind of take a Brooklyn-style pizza, slice it, fold it in half, but there's a taco. Mm-hmm. So that works too.
Yeah, it does. And then the other one we have to talk about is the hot fudge car wash, which just seems like the biggest waste, the most Americanized of all of these. It's just this little miniature car wash where you sit in a tiny little car and then hot fudge just rains down from the ceiling on top of you.
It's not too hot. I don't want scalding fudge all over me.
It sounds awesome. I'm a huge chocolate fan.
Yeah.
I like that sounds fantastic.
When they go there at the end of the episode, Linda was like, bring me back a bucket or something. In the credits, you see that she has a mouthful of chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely.
The family's all full of the hot fudge.
Yeah. So,
fudge car wash.
Did you want to talk about Bob's story at all? Or?
I mean, we kind of have been touched base on it the whole time. There's not much to talk about with Bob's story.
Other than how long does it take you to prep and saute for this burger? He's doing it for 20 minutes.
But yeah, so was Skip though. Skip was there for the majority of it.
Everyone was.
No,
except for Jimmy Pesto.
Jimmy Pesto finished with 12 minutes left.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Which was really bizarre. So, I mean, am I making burgers wrong? Should it take me 20 minutes to saute some onions and put them in a burger?
No, but he was doing it slow, so he didn't start
He
early.
was, but Skip wasn't.
I mean, Skip didn't finish early that early.
No, like a minute or two. So it took him 18 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
burger.
you use lower heat.
I don't know. There's just more care involved. I don't know. Maybe I'm rushing my burgers.
No, I don't think you're rushing them. I think that in true cooking fashion show, you don't want to finish too early, so you do finish late. I mean, it gives you 20 minutes, so you got to make sure. So you are making sure everything is as perfect as you can make it. So that's why you would lower the heat.
Sure.
You wouldn't get things done too early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. He makes the stupid black garlic burger, so they put it up on the board. Mm-hmm. And he gets an amazing, but so does Skip. Mm-hmm. Skip wins, but then at the end of the episode, he shows up at the restaurant because
he wants to try the black garlic burger. There's a line not out the door. There's a line at the door because they're closed.
Yeah,
and going around the block, which is really great.
And Skip was there, and he's like, "At first I smelt it, now I want you to dealt it into my mouth."
Into my mouth, yeah.
And the kids take their day off that day, but yeah, I mean that was kind of neat to see that because Bob really, I guess he admires Skip Maruch and his cooking ability.
He's got a book. He's very charming.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, there's no way I'm going to... He's like, Bob's right away. He's like, there's no way that I'm going to win this because here's a professional chef in this contest. So, I mean, is Skip from this area or did he just kind of come in for the contest?
Maybe he's a bit more well-known, a regional celebrity chef, maybe? I don't know.
Because this isn't the first year of the Wharf It Down, but it's the first year of the burger contest.
Right.
And I wouldn't think that they get too many people outside of the immediate area to come.
Right.
But again, he's obviously a...
Well, maybe since Chuck used to be in television, he was an easier get because Chuck knows him because Chuck used to be on television. And now he has to do this stupid burger cook-off because Bob ruined his show.
Oh, he didn't ruin the second show, though.
No, that's true.
Frankenstein was ruined most likely because nobody was watching family-related game shows anymore, or they gave away the van, so they couldn't have it anymore.
That's right.
That was Jimmy Pesto's fault.
Yes, it was.
That show ended. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about that story other than this whole Linda tries to say, hey, you were giving somebody else an out for this, so you were going to be able to blame this on Gene that he didn't get this done, and I don't think that is in the slightest. That's not helpful to anybody. And I know Bob, for some reason, apologizes. And Gene's like, I don't know what you're apologizing for. And so I don't know. I felt, again, that was kind of a weird forced portion of this episode.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get you.
So I pulled up real quickly, before we maybe wrap it up or talk about something else. I pulled up the moment on here when Bob tells Gene to go get the black garlic. And, of course, my tablet just froze again.
Awesome. Good tablet.
Well, yeah, its battery's dying. But if you see I won't play it, but you can see the positioning. Gene is technically closest.
Yes, he is.
It. So I don't think he subconsciously told Gene to get it. It was that he was the closest to get it.
Sure.
So I don't think Linda telling him, hey, you did this because you wanted to blame Gene. I don't think that was true. And Linda's not even really paying attention, but maybe that's just her way of saying, hey, you were trying to Gene it up. And give a reason for it.
Right. Could be.
because Gene's all about it. He's like, I'm on it, you know.
Yeah,
and it's
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I think he gave the Gene the job because Gene was the closest one. I think that's what it was. But Linda wanted him to think that he did it subconsciously.
Just the whole scene is very not Gene. The whole thing. Gene, go to the kitchen. Get me the black garlic. What color is it? It's black. Where is it?
Mm-hmm. It's
on the counter.
Oh, it's on the counter.
In the kitchen? Mm-hmm. Where am I? Like he knows where the kitchen is. This is not his first time in this restaurant.
I mean, it was funny back and forth though.
Yeah, and then he's like, I feel really good about this. It just, I don't know. It just, things like that really bothered me in this episode because they just changed this character into something he's not and won't be again. And so, yeah, I understand the whole zero continuity aspect of it, but most episodes seem to have that. There are very few that would have a continuing continuity, and they carry things over from here to there. Skip comes back, so there are parts of this episode that do continue on. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there was a lot of manufactured tension, manufactured character traits that didn't need to be there. Didn't need to be there. But in order for this episode to work, they had to be there.
Well, yeah, it revolves around Gene being irresponsible, and then having his moment at the end where he overcomes it. Like
I could see Andy and Ollie having this issue.
Yeah.
But they're also younger.
Right.
They're Louise's age. And we see in future episodes, I'm not going to spoil anything really, but in season 7, when we see where Gene has to be the babysitter for Louise because Tina gets into detention and Bob and Linda have to go do their taxes, he's the babysitter and he is showing great... Yes, he can goof off and be silly like a 9-year-old sister, but he takes responsibility for things and he doesn't forget things. And I can't think of another episode in this show that revolves around Gene being forgetful, being distracted, being just an overall
disappointment to your father and me. What?
An ignoramus.
An ignoramus, yeah. No, I don't know. I think you're being a little overly critical about it. I think it's fine that there's zero continuity, and I think overall it was a fine episode. I understand, changing tropes of a character is when you get used to it, when Gene is, this musical comedy relief, kind of person, and then you're adding this forgetfulness, which never existed before, and probably will never exist again. So I understand that, but I still thought it was a good episode. I like the jokes that happened. I like where he references Pretty Woman. Did you catch that when they were in the fig shop?
The what?
The reference to Pretty Woman?
Yeah, because he said, I'm going to find a pretty
John. I'm going to go... No, he's like, I'm going to find a rich John, and he's going to, come back here, and we're going to, buy the store or whatever. And I'm like, that is way too old of a movie for him, and he saw it, and...
Yeah, but he knows, but he also knows... We've seen that in previous episodes. We've talked about that before. He knows these weird, random 80s pop culture things, and...
Right.
And, that would be the things that Bob and Linda show the kids, because they don't, have a huge cable subscription, so they may have just old VHS tapes of these movies that they're watching, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's true.
But
I like that we get drunk Bob signing up for the burger competition.
Well, yeah, I think that's hilarious. They have the rule of never
signing up for anything drunk.
Yeah,
but then Gene wouldn't have taken ballet.
It's true.
That's very true.
The humor in the episode for the most part was pretty good. I like a few of the inside jokes. We can talk about the inside jokes when we talk about the gags, which we could do now. The store next door was flip your wig,
reversible hair pieces.
So Mort should take a look at that. Pest control truck was spray it, don't say it. And then the burger of the day was the Run Gorgonzola Run burger, which is just a play on Run Lola Run.
Lola Run. That's what I thought too.
And apparently the working title for the episode was Run Belcher's Run. So I think that's just kind of all worked in tandem with that theme. The one thing I did catch that I think it may have gone over some people's heads if you weren't thinking about it, was so in the turf war with Mickey, the other guy's name is Manny, so it's the Manny Petty cab.
Oh, that's pretty clever. I didn't catch that.
I really liked that. And they don't make reference to it ever in conjunction in the show, and so I just thought that was funny when you say it. You're like, oh, it's Manny's Petty cab.
Yeah, and then that's pretty good.
And then, I mean, otherwise, I think there's not too much.
I do want to talk about a couple of animation sequences that happen.
Okay.
I do like when they're in the pedicab race and Mickey's trying to fly past the, to run past or race past the train.
Yeah.
Like the animation,
train,
where it went kind of slow motion, he kind of slid by it, and and then Manny had to stop and swerve out of the way. So I like that whole sequence.
Oh, darn it!
Yeah, and then I liked the last seconds of the competition where Bob was putting the black garlic on the burger and putting the burger on the bun and putting the bun on.
3, 2, 1.
I liked that as well. They're getting a little bit more free and loose, which is good. With kind of the animation sequences rather than just having it happen. So we get a couple really good ones from what I saw in this episode. I really enjoyed. The differences. It's not just running around with like smash cuts everywhere. They're getting real creative with how they, sum up a specific scene.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then I already talked about it, but Gene's distractions, the foodstuffs at the Wharf It Down Food Festival were really funny. So
yeah.
That is what I have to say about all of that.
I think
there's still a silver lining in this episode, whether you want to admit it or not. I still think it's a good episode.
I mean, that's why we break it down the way we do. I liked that Mickey and Manny had a solid actual like beginning and end to their storyline. Mm-hmm. They started out as enemies. They have a very respectful race. They bond at the end over both being extremely dumb, and in the end as best friends, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So they hate each other at the beginning. They have that race. They talk about they talk about how you got, Manny's like, you got legs like a mouse, but the heart of a lion. And
it's like my uncle has the heart of a lion. He got it from Thailand. They got
good ties in Thailand. I love you, Manny. I just thought that was great because it's just they're both bonding over the fact that they have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
Or if they do, they're both on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, and I wish we would get more Mickey and Manny. They could have their own Zero Continuity spin-off.
Yeah, right. They could totally do it, but
they probably couldn't. I don't know if I have any other.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us for this episode, and we can throw another bump in and do some scoring. What do you think? Do some rating?
Sure.
Okay. Wow, I don't sound so thrilled.
What's so hard to understand about? I saw the black garlic, but then I saw my spatula back scratcher, and when I reached for it, your black garlic got smeared all over my belly.
Oh my God. Gene, put Tina on the phone.
She's pretty big. It'd be easier to put the phone on Tina.
Gene!
This is Tina.
Tina, listen to me. Go to your mom's bra drawer and find the cash she thinks is secret.
There's no money in there. There's no money.
Take $20 and go to that specialty food market on 3rd, Fig Jam.
Aren't there any other places we could go?
It's the only place in town that has black garlic. Hurry, we're down to 12 minutes here.
Dad hung up on me, but it's okay because I know he loves me, and he says we have to go to Fig Jam.
Fig Jam?
Fig Jam.
All right, so we have 2 minutes up on the clock.
Okay.
We have our numbers numbered. And go.
All right, so first off, we have the meta joke gigs and stuff. Forceful wigs, pest control, run Gorgonzola. And we never talked about the end credit, which was just them dancing with
fudge.
Chocolate all over their faces and
it was
bodies.
a Fudge Car Wash little jingle.
It was.
Fudge Car Wash.
Yeah, I gave that a 6. It was. I mean, they were all okay.
How?
But how did I give it a 6?
No, they're great. Reversible hair pieces is hilarious. I gave it an 8.
Okay. Just based on that?
It's hilarious.
Okay.
Spray it, don't say it. I like that too.
Okay.
So it's clever. I gave him an 8.
Sure.
I liked it.
All right. Now we're going to be way off on a lot of these. Story, I gave a 6.
Mm-hmm.
For all reasons mentioned before.
Yeah, I probably don't have to go into it too much.
I gave a 6 on that.
Mm-hmm. I gave mine an 8. I really did like the story. I know Ryan was really critical of it, but I still had a fun time enjoying it, despite how they made Gene kind of look. So
humor, I gave a 7. We talked about we don't need to recap all that, but there was definitely some fun parts. I think I've had more fun with some of the inside stuff in the episode more than the actual jokes themselves, but there you go. So 7 on that.
Yep, gave mine an 8. Really liked the jokes, loved the Pretty Woman gag, and I liked the back and forth with Gene and Bob in the beginning, and Gene's distractions were just amazing, little jokes.
And then I gave Other a 7. Would have been higher, would have been a 9, but the whole Gene thing, I couldn't for the life of me give that a 9. So I had to drop 2 points from that and went to 7 on that.
Yeah, I gave mine an 8. I was 8 all the way down the board. I liked the animation sequences that we have that I mentioned earlier. I love the name of Wharf It Down Food Festival. So there's a lot of fun little bits in this episode, and we got a fun little car wash, hot fudge car wash jingle at the end. So an 8.
So that's 6.4 for me and 8 for you because we had 8 across the board.
So what's the total?
Oh, I actually didn't do that one. Let me
Maybe you should. That's like the most important one of where this episode ranks in the all-time top 71 or whatever it is now.
Let's take a look. Equal average of C6.
Not a lot of dead air time now. Do I have to fill this, or are we going to cut this out?
I'll cut it out. That's fine. 7.2.
Okay.
So.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean that is what it is. It's.
I know you're real critical. I still had fun watching the episode. I still laughed. I don't know. I know the whole point for me at least was I entertained? I was entertained, so I tried to view it as objectionably as possible, as opposed to just saying this isn't Gene F- across the board.
I didn't give it F-.
I know you did give it. I know that. I know. I'm just saying because you're very critical of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people think that 6.4 is failing or a D-, but it's not. It is not at all. Mm-hmm. It is right where it needs to be.
Right. So that's gonna do it for us for this week. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at BurgersFriesPod. You can check us out on our Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Burgers and Fries Podcast. What are we there?
Where?
Patreon?
That's Burgers and Fries.
Burgers and Fries. Patreon.com/Burgers and Fries.
Just like our Podbean.
Right.
Burgers and Fries.
That's right. So let us know if you want us to do better, do worse, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. We're not going to listen to you anyway.
That's not true. We would listen for sure.
So do want to thank everybody again for listening continually week after week. It's been really great to interact with all of you great listeners and witness some new followers here and there on Instagram and on Twitter. Everybody jumps in every once in a while. So it's been a lot of fun. So that'll do it for us. We're Burgers and Fries Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Ryan. Don't you tell me no lies.